Hey there guys, my name is Marcus, and in this video I'm going to present you the 7 phases of suffering and how the transformation of the deep wounds in our own bodies works. So let's talk about the first phase, which is the worst phase out of all. It's called not aware. And why is it that this is the worst phase of all? Because there is nothing worse than not being aware of the things that is controlling us and the pain that we carry. So how would I explain is that, let's say most people live on the the top of the surface of the ocean, and they believe that all there is the top of the ocean, but they are not aware that there is whole ocean within them. And how Jung wonderful said it, until you make your unconscious conscious, it will control your life and you will call it fate. So this is the thing, that they are not aware that the whole ocean within them is actually controlling them. So how we can see it in our own society, the first thing is that you can see masks. So what people do is they carry constantly masks on their face. So they have the wound. Sometimes they're aware of it, but many times they don't. They just create the identity, then they just carry, and they need to constantly fuel it, or they just represent it. The second thing is the pain itself. So what's happening is that they don't even have the mask, they are the wound itself. So they're not aware of it, they're representing the wound. Or the third thing is that what you can see are tyrants. What's happening with the tyrants is that with tyrants, they are representing the ego, they are representing the shadow, they are representing in a way the dark side, is that they manipulate, they try to control, they want to have more power. And in the moment, you can say it in politicians, is that they have certain kind of level of wealth and they need more. They need more because in the moment when they got certain level of wealth, it's adjusted. So, okay, they adjust it, but then they start to sense that something's off, or what they're doing is wrong. So what they do, they represent again the shadow. So it gives them a certain level of power, or they feel safe on some level. But it's all just they're just wounded. And they don't want to face the wounds, they don't even many times aware of it. So they're just representing the shadow, and they try to control, manipulate, and have more power over others. The second phase is noticing something off. So we're gonna have second phase, something's off. This is where we have the introduction to do, in a way, to do dark night of the soul. When what might happen is that we have the health issues, or we have a divorce, or someone dies, or there is a financial difficulty, or we have this random awakening, or we suffer so much that we're not even aware of it, that we just know that okay, this is not right. So we start to slowly awaken. So we can have issue awakening. More stable we feel, we might see more that okay, this is not right. So when we learn how to manage the thoughts, or when we learn how to manage the anxiety, depression, we can the body reveals more and more things to work on and to process. But we oh, I didn't expect there is so much mess inside me, that there is so much pain inside me. So something's off. This is the introduction where a person, they don't really know what to do with it. It's so imagine right there that you as the guy here on the top of the ocean, you just look there and it's yeah, I saw some, I like a fish there, and maybe there was some kind of treasure. Why the water is cold, and why it seems so dark there? So this is what is actually happening, right? Is that something's off, that we have this the introduction to it, to the adventure. The first thing is lost. This phase, what is it about? Is that person got no idea what to do about it. Is that they just know that it's bad. And they try to go to doctors because they have this tension in their head, or they got this something near their heart. They've got nothing to do with the health issues. It's the energetic thing, with the deep hurt. Or they feel something under the belly, or in the solar plexus, or just what is it in my body? And what is actually happening there is that the person, with their consciousness, they start to get closer and closer to their bodies, because on some level maybe they are ready, and they start to feel it. and then we start to be aware. So imagine right there is that you actually look more here into the deep ocean, and maybe you try to like put the foot there, but you're not still doing that. You still look outside for the outside people in also who live on the surface that like, yeah, but you know, it's like, what is happening? You know, it's like, and we just like complete lost. And I was there too. So what's actually happening there? We go to doctors. Doctors, we tried various like, I don't know, like maybe retreats, or we go to channeling. We try like various stuff, alternative things, various kind of therapies, and it's like it's nothing's working. And we don't understand, even like with the talk therapy, that it just like doesn't work. And then comes the fourth thing, is that after we become lost and we just like know that we are a mess, the fourth phase is that we don't want to feel it. This is where I was stuck for 2 years, by the way. We don't want to feel it. And you know what is happening here when we don't want to feel it? We have resistance towards it. Like, I was living such a good life when I was like on the surface of the ocean. I had no problems, but it's like, but right now, there is just like pain inside me. So we have resistance. We have resistance towards it. You know, we are victim of it. And this is where a lot of people are stuck. And you can see primarily when they know they get like CPTSD and like something was off, they don't want to feel when they got like the visions from past would come, or like the pictures from the past, from childhood, whatever, and they start to like, it's them, it's because of them, it's happening, you know, and they start to blame everyone that it happened, and I understand it. So, but there is like very important things to take responsibility and decide that we are capable of healing, but that's a topic for a different video. I just want to like talk about this. So we have resistance towards what is present in the body. So what we do is that when there is like this ocean within, we have resistance to the ocean. That is our ocean. And we are like, bro, but it's like, it's, you know, like, I don't want to go there. It's so dark, it's so cold. Like, what I'm going to do there? Like, it's painful to go into the dark, deep waters when there are like various creatures, sharks and various like, I don't know, fishes, but there is also gold. That's what is important. And like different things also, but I will talk about later. So we don't want to feel it. We have resistance. We are a victim of it. And we try to push it away. Oh my God, this is beautiful. Push it away. So what we do is that we try to like, it's not ours. I don't want to have it. We try to push it away. And then what happens is that we try to distract ourselves from it. So a lot of people are distracting even in the first phase. But in the fourth phase, you know, you have the wound, but we distract. And this can happen in every single kind of like phase. So with TV shows, movies, video games, music, games, pornography, news, constantly meeting with other people, like workaholism, or like people who want to like work, achieve more. That is like very popular right now. Then we kind of like constantly distract to not be in our own bodies. So this is the fourth phase. Now the fifth phase is that this is like very important phase. We start to be curious. Is that when we let go, like this is important phase to be in. So kind of like, you know, having resistance, victim of it. But when we become curious, this is the fifth phase. This is where the magic starts to happen, because we don't go from us like, we are in the ocean, right? Right? We look within, and it's like I would be very curious how it looks like if I would put my leg there in the ocean, and what would happen if maybe I could like jump for like 10 seconds and then go away. But do you see the kind of like the playfulness in my voice? Is that I'm not perceiving, it's like, ooh, there is some fish there. Like, I'm really curious, how would it look if I could come close to it? And what actually happens is that you start become curious about what is present in our own bodies, rather than being, you know, having resistance to it, being victim of it, trying to push it away. is that in that way you learn how to connect with the body. And this comes like very much to the kind of like childhood, because what is like very fascinating thing is that we try to do all the kind of like, I'm okay with that, with the pranayama breathing and various stuff, but you know, when the kids are small, like we want to use like those things, those qualities that children have many times. The playfulness, the curiosity, the kind of adventure. And that's what we want to do with curiosity. So I'm curious, and this is where I'm going to pick up the green. So curious, so what is inside me? What is inside me? This is where like the thing starts to happen, because we don't have resistance towards it. Many times the problem is that we had a problem with it, because the body just like comes with it for us to release it and to be more light, to be more free. It's that simple. But we are like objection, they shouldn't be here, only because they did do, and they hurt me, objection, and like the body is just like, come on, bro, it's like just like I want to like release stuff. Why you're like constantly stopping it? Why you go watch TV show when we can just like release it and be free? So that's what's happening here, right? The 6th point, transformation. Transformation. This is where the fun begins. In a transformation where you decide that, you know, I'm going to jump into the damn water. And even if I should become like completely insane, and I mean it, I'm going to jump into the water. Because what else to do? That's my question for you. What else to do? I mean, you can live on the surface, but I'm telling you right now, the life happens right here. Because the whole ocean we are afraid to jump in and be with, like facing the dragons, it's who we are, actually. But we can go even beyond that we are actually the whole ocean, and we're like the Rumi would say, you know, I'm not a drop in the ocean, I'm the whole ocean in the drop. And learning how to become the whole ocean is the key. But it takes time, and it's a process, of course. And everybody got different stuff, of course. But the transformation, this is where I start to face it. I bring compassion, freedom, understanding, also safe space for the wounds and for the pain to be there. And I just like stay with it. So what actually happens is that you jump to the water. First, for example, for 15 seconds, but then for like 20 seconds, then for 1 minute, then for 5 minutes. And then you just like jump there and you spend 10 minutes in water. And you're like, okay, it's way better than just going to the surface. I really enjoy it here, you know? But life changes then. And it's hard to describe how much, but life changes a lot there. So the transformation is that when we decide to face it, and we decide to give it freedom, that I'm just going to jump into damn water. And I'm going to face something that I'm afraid of. Many times it's connected, those two things. And the more I'm going to do it, the better I'm going to be at it. But it's very important, even like this phase is very important. And it could be like complete like different 30 things what actually happens. And that's why making like a school community that I invite you to, where I talk about it, and I have like weekly calls and one-on-one introduction call with you. Like after you will join, that I can like talk about where you are right now and what kind of like phase and how to dive deeper. And the last phase, so let's go with after we transform it, is this one. It's called freedom. And you know why it's freedom? Because you, as let's say there was like the ocean, and you are this person, and you are not the person anymore. You are not the identity they were playing all the time. You are the whole ocean. That's it. Because no thoughts, no kind of like states, even with the states they were occurred, you can let them go. And you just are. No matter the outside things. Because you know that you and God are one. You and the ocean are one. and you go from that perspective. And how it actually works is that, you know, Rumi got also this wonderful quote, when I was small, I was afraid in front of the wolf that came in front of me, but there was a dad behind me, so I knew I can handle it. Now, when I'm older and dad is not around, I know that I'm not afraid of the wolf because the God is behind me. But not from the type of the God that sits somewhere up there, but the God itself as the life itself. And this is the key, right? And from me, at least, this is the truth because I experienced it. So that's what I perceive. And then it's funny because the freedom is the last thing and it's down there. And you know why? Because from the Jung perspective, I'm going to tell you something. I'll like show you. You know how there is like a tree, right? And there is this wonderful thing. Only those who have the deep roots to the hell, from the kind of like the tree perspective, can have a wonderful big crown. Because what happens is that you can't have a big crown unless you have like deep like roots in hell, like in the dark. And what many times happens is that people try to like meditate and they try to just have like a big crown through the kind of like the concrete concentration meditation practice when they create a bubble within. But what actually happens is that they are creating bubble and they are on some level dissociated. So we need to first, it is like again video for different day, but this is important. And if you are aware that something painful is in the body, there is a wonderful way how you can transform it and become free by transforming, by bringing freedom, facing it, and be with it. So hope this video provided a little bit of value. This is my first time making this type of stuff. So thank you very much guys for watching and have a great day and goodbye.